sludges, residues, and like purifying like compounds and stuff.
That's so close to what my dad does.
Really?
My dad does minerals.
Oh yeah, my dad was in that too. I bet they know each other.
I feel like
our
they
dads
know
are
each
best
other.
friends. Plot twist. I was a math nerd.
Really?
I loved math, yeah. I killed my math SAT.
Damn.
Shouts out. That's the only thing that got me into college because my grades were no good. So I actually grew up Orthodox Jewish, so I couldn't play on Saturdays. So what I would do is I would be a ringer for like the local travel teams when they had Sunday game. And like I'll meet people like, dude, it's so crazy you work on like Demi Lovato song. He's like, yeah, never even met her. She was like somewhere far away, but I was in my bedroom and they sent it to me and I did the drums and I sent it back and here we go, I have a credit, you know? Or like the paparazzi and stuff when I was working with Bella, it was insane. And like I never expected it, or like the first few times I didn't know how to handle it. I was like, okay, try and make a sexy face because it's gonna be all over the internet.
Yeah. Hi, today I'm here with Prince Fox.
Hello, it's me. Hello.
So you met like, okay, was it 2 years ago? Wait, three?
Yeah, I think it was at
That's
least
crazy.
3 years ago, yeah.
We met 3 years ago in New York, like a few times, and then pretty much nothing's in New York anymore, so we're all here.
New York has moved to Los Angeles. It's done. It's canceled.
Yeah, it's canceled.
Somebody canceled New York music.
But were you born in New York?
Yeah,
or?
I was born and raised in New York.
Like Upper East Side, or?
Yeah, Upper East Side area, like a couple blocks away from Central Park.
Were your parents also born there, or?
My dad was actually born in Bogota, Colombia, and my mom was born in Queens.
Oh, and then they met in New York?
Yeah. They met actually in an airport in Israel, and my dad called my mom Airport Mara for like a good year before they actually started dating.
Oh my god.
But
that's
a
so
pretty funny
cute.
story,
Yeah.
My mom's Airport Mara.
What were you like growing up?
I was really into hockey. I played a lot of hockey. I originally wanted to play guitar when I was like 8, and my parents got me this little mini Yamaha guitar. It was probably like yay big.
Yeah.
And I started taking lessons and I hated practicing, so I just stopped after like 6 months. I was like, screw this. And then I got really into hockey, and then when I was a freshman in high school, I told my parents that I really wanted an electric guitar, and they're like, oh, well, we know how this went. And I was like, all right, if I learn 20 songs on this mini Yamaha, I'm like 14 at this point.
Yeah.
If I learn something on this like little tiny Yamaha, like 20 songs just from the internet, it'll get me an electric guitar. I'm like, okay, sure.
Damn.
In 2 weeks, I learned the 20 songs on electric guitar.
Wow.
And I think it was President's Weekend, my freshman year of high school, I got my first Epiphone SG.
Damn.
And yeah, then I just got really into music, and like slowly the music kind of took over and hockey sort of faded out.
Do you remember the early songs? Like what kind of songs were they that you played?
I wanted to be John Mayer. So, the ones from the acoustic guitar, damn.
Yeah, like way back when.
I looked at like what was like 3 chords, and then I kind of remembered from like my teacher. I remembered like C chord, G chord, D, and like maybe one other one. I was like, all right, what has 4 chords, and what can I like pretend I kind of know how to play so I can get electric guitar. I think it was like Avril Lavigne's Skater Boy. It was super easy. Oh, that's a dog. There's a dog.
Intense.
Okay. Avril Lavigne's Skater Boy. Back in Black was somewhere in there. Shit. What was it? Sweet Child of Mine I botched. But I got like halfway through the notes, and my dad's like, okay, next song. I got it. I trust you learned it.
That's so funny. But so you had a teacher, right? So they were always like open for you to do music. Yeah,
they were always open for me to do music, and like they just wanted me to like pursue what I was like seriously passionate about, no matter like what it was. Like in hockey, they were always super supportive, and you know, since I switched to doing music, they've been super supportive.
Oh wow.
So I'm super blessed in that regard.
What careers are your parents in?
My dad used to run the American branch of this metal trading company. He was like the American side of it.
Wait, like industrial metals?
Yeah, like sludges, residues, and like purifying like compounds and stuff.
That's so close to what my dad does.
Really?
My dad does minerals.
Oh yeah, my dad was in that too. I bet they know each other.
I feel like
our
they
dads
know
are
each
best
other.
friends. Plot twist. This is like.
That's crazy. Actually, yeah, my dad like grew up Upper East. Wait, that's.
Really?
Yeah,
I bet so my dad knows your dad for sure.
That's so funny. Damn.
But now he is in education.
Like professor or?
He's an administrator in a school in Brooklyn.
Oh.
Yeah, he just wanted to help the kids. He's
Yeah.
he's a very good man at heart, inside and outside. So he just wanted to make a difference. So that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
And then my mom is also in education, but she does PR for the school that I went to.
Oh, so was she always in education?
She was in advertising first, and then like when I was 6, switched to education.
Yeah. Did you have like a musician in your family then?
That's the joke. No, I always say that we didn't really have much music in my family, but we had a lot of anxiety and nervousness. So it made me want to practice and get really good.
Yeah. Damn. But like, what were your favorite subjects back then in high school?
I was a math nerd.
Really?
I loved math, yeah. I killed my math SAT.
Damn.
Shouts out. That's the only thing that got me into college because my grades were no good. But my saving grace was my math SAT.
Wow. So it just like all came easily to you. You didn't need a tutor? You were just like
for math,
acing?
yeah.
Yeah.
Math was really something. My great grandparents actually were like math whizzes. My great grandmother was like the tutor for all of the royal family's kids in either France or Alsace. I'm not really great with family history, but she was teaching some cool people in a country that's not the United States.
Damn.
60 years before I was born. And then my great grandfather had some apparatuses that he invented that were on the first missions to space in the U.S.
That's so cool.
It's pretty crazy, yeah. So they were real math, and I probably got that from them.
Yeah. So we're also good at like physics and stuff too then?
Yeah, physics was
Yeah.
physics was jam. But the thing is that I don't remember physics like now. I couldn't do that, but if you like put a formula in front of me now, like I could probably figure some shit out. But physics, I don't think anymore. It's been too long, too far gone.
Do you think you approach music kind of in that way, like more like formulaic, mathematical?
You know, I forgot who I was talking to about this the other day, but I find that it has like to write anything that's like worthwhile has to be a really stark balance between like the mathematical sides to music, which is obviously like tonal theory and stuff like that, but also you know, an emotional thing that people can connect to, because you can follow all the rules of, let's say, like making a Spotify hit, right? You got to get the vocal chops right in the beginning and then kick drum in the first 6 seconds. And there's all these like things you can read about, you know, that studies show how you can get past skip rates and all that stuff. But, you know, you also have to say something that people resonate with, you know? So it's kind of like a really stark hybrid that I find myself teetering the line of all the time.
So we're kind of like a nerd and a jock at the same time in high school.
Yes, bingo, you nailed it. So I really just didn't fit in, which gave me a lot of time to practice. I had my friends. I still have some friends.
Yeah.
But, you know, it definitely gave me a lot of time to like work on myself and like what I was trying to do.
Yeah. How into hockey were you? Were you like super competitive, like traveling around?
So I actually grew up Orthodox Jewish, so I couldn't play on Saturdays. So what I would do is I would be a ringer for like the local travel teams when they had Sunday games. I would sometimes like drive up for a couple hours to just go play with the high level local teams.
Yeah.
So I was never like officially on that team, but I was playing at that level for quite some time.
Yeah.
And then my summers I spent coaching hockey and like playing with ex-pro players and just like training, and then I just played for my high school team.
Was your Jewish culture like a big part of you? Like were your parents like?
Yeah. So I was super religious till I was like 18.
Yeah.
And then just kind of like found my own way of being religious, like not necessarily as by the book as I used to be. But
what about like 18 that you started? What was the turning point?
I mean, I moved out. I like had a lot of time to think what things about, you know, the culture that I grew up in really resonated with me, and the things that like I didn't necessarily agree with or were harder for me to uphold with like the rest of the lifestyle I was living, especially as, you know, music came into play.
Yeah.
And then it was just a matter of like being honest with myself, like who am I doing X, Y, and Z for? Is it for me? Is it for my parents? Do I believe in all of it? It was not like a staunch, like this day when I was 18 I stopped being religious. It was kind of like a gradual like ebb and flow where I was keeping some stuff and not keeping other stuff, and like just finding my way into like I would say I'm more spiritual now than I ever was.
Oh,
wow. As much as I don't necessarily keep all the laws of Judaism by the book anymore.
Yeah.
I think that like I believe a lot more of it in my heart than I ever did when I was just practicing, not thinking about it.
So you believe it more of like not really religious then now?
Yeah, I would say it's just really spiritual, like believing that like, you know, God or a higher power is watching over me. I think that, you know, your good deeds and like what you put out into the world really comes back full circle, like in anything and everything, whether it's in business, if you know, have a chance to like fuck someone over and you're like honest about it, be like, hey dude, like you're giving me too good of a deal, like let's make this more fair. You know, it comes back around wholeheartedly. Like I'll be in CVS and I'll forget to like ring some shit up for me and like whatever, it's like $5 here or there, not crazy, but I'll just be like, yo, you forgot this, and they're like, you know what, take it anyway, like fuck it to the God.
I'm like so glad I didn't drop my gear. Like I was staring at it, otherwise I would probably just drop all my gear. Oh my god.
Sorry, I like huskies, but that was
like
loud
the second
and
time,
big.
right? Yeah. Oh my god.
So yeah, anyway, karma always comes around full circle.
And did your parents know about you like not being as Jewish as you were before?
In the beginning, I wasn't so good about being honest because I really just wasn't being super honest with myself. Thank you. But as, you know, I got older and like became closer and more open with my parents about like what I was doing, you know, they started to like know more about kind of where I stand on things. But always like I've been, even now, like by the book and super respectful when I'm around them. Like I won't do anything like overtly in front of them or whatever. Just like I try and keep it 100 around them for sure.
And in your senior year, your grandma was like getting ill, right?
My godgrandmother, yeah. Surely.
Were you super close to her? Like, did it affect you a lot?
Yeah. So I like played guitar for her every Sunday after her chemotherapy. And then when she passed away, I played her funeral and like stopped playing guitar for a bit. And that's when I got really into production. That was actually like how I discovered electronic music, because I like stopped playing guitar for a little bit and like consequently went to Electric Zoo at the same time.
Why did you stop playing guitar?
I just like, it was a lot. Like when I played her funeral, I had really bad tonsillitis. So I was like up there like struggling to breathe, like playing for, you know, someone that really mattered to me. It's like funeral. It was just kind of like shitty and fucked up and left a bad taste in my mouth. So I just like quit it for a little bit. And then like when I came back to the guitar and started writing songs again and like incorporating it with everything that I learned production wise, that's when things really started to like pick up in my career and stuff.
For the production stuff, did you have friends who showed it to you initially, or?
So I went to NYU for like production and composition. So I had to do like all the music theory training and stuff. And
is that where you met Love, or did you meet him before? Okay.
So he was a year younger than me in the same program. And like we were friends pretty much from like when he started there. He's a super good dude. We had like a lot of classes together. Yeah. Because we had similar interests. Love you, Ari.
And was school something that you wanted to do, or did your parents say you had to get a diploma?
I really wanted to. I mean, my parents obviously cared that I had a good education, and but that's really where I wanted to be. Like, I knew that I needed to know the rules of music before I could break them, kind of thing. And that was the place that I felt, you know, was best for me and what I was trying to accomplish. So I guess it was like a combination of everybody wanting me to get a degree, but like towards the end of school, I definitely like stacked up my coursework because touring was getting kind of hectic, so I was able to graduate early. Yeah. But yeah.
Did it never like, did you ever think of doing anything that's like math related, or was that just not even a career that you thought about?
When I was in high school, I was like, I'm gonna be a rich accountant. Like every other fucking kid in my class. But like, I know it's funny, I'm Jewish, but yeah, I like was just not down. I like some of the kids that were older than me started interning at different accounting firms and like doing all that stuff, and they were just not happy with their lives. I was like, I don't want to do that.
So that clicked to you in high school that you were like, this is not.
Yeah, I was like, I don't really want to sit behind a desk unless there's really loud music coming from the desk.
Yeah.
And I'm making it.
Damn. Yeah. And do you think the like music school helped you a lot now, looking back?
Yeah, totally. So like the parts of me that I guess like are out in the world, like the stuff that I put out under Prince Fox is like not necessarily super complex musically. Like it's pretty pop focused, especially like chord wise in the arrangements. But I'm also really into like this doing sound design stuff for my friends' films and like film scoring stuff that like I kind of do on the side and don't really like post or talk about. And like I feel like that's a lot of where the music school has helped me, is like being able to converse with other musicians but to also be versatile and if like I want to do other shit, you know. But in like the Prince Fox stuff, it's kind of a little bit just like the basic stuff is the most helpful, I guess.
Did you go under another moniker, or was Prince Fox the first one that you ever had?
I just was Sam Lassner in the beginning.
Yeah.
But that music was trash.
What made you want to get a moniker?
All of the likes on my Facebook page were mutual friends, like, or friends of mine on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I was like, these aren't my fans. They're my friends that just click like. Like, I want, like, people that don't know what my real name is to, like my music and, like my Facebook just because they like music.
Oh.
So it was really a Facebook-centric decision. I really can't say much more than that.
Funny, yeah.
I just cared about my likes.
And you got your name from like your grandma used to read you the book, right?
Oh yeah, she taught the book. So I had like the book The Little Prince in like a few different languages just around the house, and like a lot of the promotional materials. I have like a metal tray from the original promo.
Oh wow.
It's cool.
At what age was that exactly?
Oh, it was kind of always just around.
Yeah.
Like I knew of it. I probably read the full book when I was like 11 or 12.
Yeah.
And then again when I was like 14 or 15.
Oh, and the name, I mean.
Oh, the name Prince Fox?
Yeah.
That's probably been like 3 or 4 years that I've had it. Like at least brewing it, but like nothing ever happened with it, I guess, until 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago.
Yeah. What would you say got you like your first anything outside of like music school?
When I posted like a couple of remixes, I think it was like summer 2015. It was, I think the biggest one that I did at that time was a remix of Sam Smith's Stay With Me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that kind of like started getting me shows, and like booking agents wanted to start talking, and like managers and whatever, because at that point I was still self-managed when I put that out.
Did you have some sort of mentor or?
Not really. I just like, when I like am into something, I just obsess over it. So I was like reading all this shit on various blogs. I was on Sound, YouTube, like watching tutorials, this, that, the other thing, just trying to like figure it out and like see the steps that the people that I looked up to took to get to be famous, I guess.
Yeah. What made you start doing like remixes first and like original stuff? Because you could do so many instruments, so you could have like just straight up do like original music.
I knew that like at least at that point, like the way to get eyes on you was to like do remixes, and I didn't want to like drop my original music to like an empty forest of internet people, so to speak. So I kind of just was playing the game. I was like, I really like these songs. It kind of goes with the stuff that I would want to say if I were to write the songs myself. So I'll just remix these, and then, you know, let people know what, you know, my production's about, and then kind of hook them in with that. And once they kind of like that, then you can bring them into more and more of your tastes and your writing, etc.
So you already like strategized this from the onset?
Yeah,
wow.
Totally. Because I always knew I wanted to do original music.
Yeah. And how would you say you got your stuff into the eyes of like the more of the pop scene?
It's really weird. I think like Twitter is a big part of it. Like, I get, so it's really hard to explain, but like one person that like has a big YouTube following would follow me, and then like I'd put out another song and they would tweet it out because they liked it, and then 2 months later, like 3 more of those kind of like social media kids would follow me.
So YouTube like helped a lot.
Yeah, like YouTubers and like Viners and like social media kids in general that like kind of caught onto my stuff early. Yeah. Sort of paved the way for me to meet a lot of the people that I've like collaborated with. Like I met Bella Thorne at like a party where I met that person through social media, and like it was just like all these like intertwined connections just from like posting my music on Twitter and like people finding it and them tweeting it, and it was a really big like snowball effect, like from really like, I don't think that my numbers on those socials like grow as exponentially as they did like maybe my first year, because it's like you go from 0 to 1,000, and that's a much more stark increase, but like it's definitely been a snowball effect with like influencers that have like come across my music and kind of afforded me those opportunities.
Yeah. Were you ever scared that you were gonna get stuck in like a SoundCloud bubble? Because I feel like still now, if you are able to like break out of it.
Yeah, I was terrified of that, and that's kind of like was the crux of my mental dilemma when I was signing like my record deal, because like things were going really well on SoundCloud, and like that's kind of how they found me. I was like, do I keep feeding this core of like SoundCloud fans that I have?
Yeah.
Or do I like try and make a leap and do the Spotify thing and trying to sell records on iTunes? Like, how much of it is like passive, like listening to your feed on SoundCloud when you hear one remix you like, and how much of the plays are like people that are invested in you and want to like spend money and support you?
Yeah.
So obviously after much deliberation and my lawyer taking a long time to get the deal done, I decided to like go with a major label. I've since left that label, but yeah, definitely was a huge fear. But I'm happy that I made the leap for sure.
What have you learned so far with doing like label related stuff?
You want to do a deal. Well, mostly I find with major labels or like big companies, you want to do a deal where they have to like make their money back, or like they have to make things work for you and like pull whatever strings it takes to get shit done. Because if they don't spend a lot of money on you, you're kind of just like a penny stock, where if you work, you work. If you don't, you don't. It's no harm, no foul to them. But if they make like an investment in you, you know, they have to pull those strings to like get stuff done with you. And then with smaller labels, where like it's not like a big budget type operation, you just want people that are passionate and like want to make shit happen, you know? Because at the end of the day, like I think in music and in anything, it's just about people and like who you want to work with, who you don't want to work with, and like who just gets you excited, and who your art or your product or your Excel wrap up of a meeting like makes excited, or the people that you want around. Like you never want to find like, you know, somebody that's just not excited. Just be around nice, exciting people, and you'll do great things.
If you could do it all over again, do you think you would just wait it out, or?
Oh, it's tough. Part of me wants to say yes, but part of me knows that if I didn't go through that ecosystem, I wouldn't have known myself, like in my heart, what I want and like the kind of career I want to lead from here on out. I think I needed to kind of experience the ebbs and flows of everything to be able to have my own sense of it all, and not just, you know, take people's word for it one way or another. Because until you like experience all of that stuff, everything else is just like, oh, this person's jaded or this person's eager, and like you kind of rationalize with yourself why what you want is the right thing. Is
there anything you would say that like stands out about working in the pop industry that you didn't know about before?
That's super interesting. Anything that stands out that I didn't know about? I feel like I didn't really know anything. I just assumed that the people who put out songs wrote them all, and I assumed that they were kind of with the producer in the room. But I feel like in this age of sending files and sharing stuff, you know, you can have so many people work on one song that are just never in the same room together, and I think that's super cool. And like I never would have thought that. I thought it was kind of like these people are sitting with these producers and like they're in a room and they bang it out, and like I'll meet people like, dude, it's so crazy you work on like Demi Lovato song. He's like, yeah, never even met her, she was like somewhere far away, but I was in my bedroom and they sent it to me and I did the drums and I sent it back, and here we go, I have a credit, you know. That's
so cool. What is it kind of like just being thrown into the whole scene with like Bella Thorne and all that, like paparazzi and stuff? Is it something like so random to you, right?
Yeah, it was really random and like foreign, and like I'd never experienced anything like that. The only other time before, there were 2 times before I was with Bella that I had paparazzi around me. One time I was 14 and I was visiting Los Angeles with my family. We were walking down Hollywood Boulevard, and the cast of Jersey Shore just like walked out of a car in the middle of Hollywood Boulevard for no apparent reason. and like Mike the Situation wanted to talk to me for some odd reason. I don't know why. I don't remember the whole story, but like I was just talking with the Situation. Like little 14-year-old me, and then I got paparazzi there for no reason. And then I was working with Jack and Jack earlier in the year, other social media kids that like I met through Twitter. Oh, that's
I tried to stop it.
What is it?
It's like chocolate.
Oh, it's Girl Scout cookies. Fuck yeah. Sorry to whoever dropped the Girl Scout cookies. But like the consistency of what like the paparazzi and stuff when I was working with Bella was insane. And like I never expected it, or like the first few times I didn't know how to handle it. I was like, okay, try and make a sexy face because it's gonna be all over the internet.
Yeah.
But then like you realize that it's like these people are doing their jobs and they're just like trying to get cool content. So you joke with them, you give them some stuff here and there, and like Bella's super nice when it comes like to most of them, as long as they're not like harassing her. I mean, she's really like sweet and open with all of them. Be like, hey, I'd rather not talk about that, or like, hey, like, can you give me your number because I really want to see the pictures you took. I like my outfit today.
Yeah.
So like when we were in New York doing press, there was this one guy outside of our hotel that just like had followed us or something, and we had both like just come from a bunch of photo shoots. She's like, all right, we're gonna walk up and down a bunch of times. I just need you to send me these pictures so I can post them.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just super dope. It was cool because I got dope pictures.
Yeah.
The guy had a sick camera. He was able to shoot like 100 shots in like 30, like whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever's fast. I don't know. Shutter speed fast. We look nice. That's all I know. But yeah.
Did that make you a lot more conscious about your branding and yourself as like a personality?
Yeah. It was like, on the one hand, I felt like I had to like be tweeting and like posting on Instagram all the time.
Yeah.
But then, you know, when I got back from it all and like I started touring heavily again, and like my like session schedule started picking up, and like I'm working on an album now. So when I started doing that, I realized that it's okay for me to be quiet. Sometimes I'd rather like use those channels when I like either want to say something really funny that I think people will like, or want to say something like important that I really feel like needs to be said.
How do you think your music has changed from the very first songs you put out?
Oh damn. I feel like I've really found myself through trying to be everybody else. Like I was super inspired by like different producers with like every song that I put out, and like I feel like only in the past few months, like when I started embarking on this album process, have I really found like what I am and like what I want to be. Because like you get to a point in like proficiency where like if you really want, you can make most genres of music, especially in the dance world. Like whether you're doing the sound design yourself or you can find like synth packs wherever, like there are ways to get from point A to point B pretty easily sonically these days, if you're somewhat proficient in your like audio workstation. I think what sets apart the people that, you know, have like crazy flocking fans and whatever are the ones that are doing something different with those same tools. And like I kind of realized recently that like I really just want to play guitar, you know? I really want to do a live show. Like I love DJing, and like it's provided me with a great life and it's dope, but I want to eventually, you know, have a live show under my belt as well. I never want to stop DJing, but like for example, I don't know when this is coming out, but probably around the time this comes out, I have a bunch of live videos coming out. I like put together a band to do an alt rock version of my next single called Positive with Ren.
Oh wow.
So we went to the Gibson studio space and we just played like a real band, and I got to play lead guitar, did a little background vocals, and it just like felt great. And so once I finish this album and like we figure out how we're gonna put it out and when we're gonna put it out, I want to do like some kind of a live tour, whether it's more like Odessa style where it's like half computer, half not, or, you know, only me, or you know, with a band. Yet to be decided, but I know like that when the time comes for me to have like a huge production and, you know, the lights and the fireworks, like I want to have an instrument in my hand. Yeah,
that'd be so cool. How do you think you've grown as a person since young Sam?
I was a shithead. I really was. I just was so caught up in just thinking I knew what was going on. But like I feel like the older I get and like the more things happen and the more things that I do and the more music I put out, I realize I never actually know what I'm doing. I'm just like doing a better job at making it up as I go along. So, you know, just trying to like take everything like day by day and like be nice to people, like even if it's people that, you know, sometimes are annoying or like ask for things that, you know, either you're not comfortable saying yes to, or people that were not nice to you until you had something to offer them. Just like kind of always doing it with a smile and like just trying to be like genuine, because especially in light of like all these recent events and like all the fucked up things going on in the world, like you never want to like end your life knowing that you could have been a better person to somebody, you know?
Yeah.
So like with all the music that I'm writing now, with all of like my like day-to-day activities, I'm just trying to be like a good dude, honestly. And like the stuff that I'm writing about is pretty like near and dear, whether it's on a romantic level or like I have this like really long poem that starts the album, which obviously I don't have it all by heart, nor would I probably recite it right now, but it's basically just about like how this album is just about like me finding myself, and like I had to hit rock bottom of being upset and depressed and didn't know what I wanted in life or in music to kind of come back and like share this whatever 55-minute long experience with whoever's listening to it. Even though like all the songs are, you know, pop songs and like either I'm singing on them or I'll get somebody else, but it's just like trying to share like a collective human experience has become something that's much more important to me than it ever was.
Yeah. And what would you say have been your like biggest struggles so far?
My biggest struggles? Thinking that I'm smarter than the consumer. I remember watching like a lecture that John Mayer gave from like, I want to say it was like 2008 maybe, or 2011, where he was like, you as a musician trained, you could be the best guitar player in the world, but you don't know shit. The consumer is way smarter than you. And like I was like, well man, you're a really good guitar player, but I don't think that's true. Like if you write a really good song, like you know it's good, like you have good taste. But really like the proof is always in the research, the proof is always in the pudding. And like you could be like, oh, this one's gonna go, this one's gonna be my hit, like got the big feature, got this, but really like sometimes the numbers just don't reflect, or like the people that, you know, you hired to push it have other stuff on their plate that they're more excited about. Like there's 1,000,001 factors that go into like a successful hit record, and like you can never guess. It's just about making something that's honest, that, oh hello dog, this one's cute, I like this song. You know, making something that just feels right. And you know, send it around to people that you trust and like trust their tastes. And once you get into that rhythm and you get your foot in the door of like, you know, your first couple thousand streams, couple 100,000 streams, couple million streams, and you just kind of build from there. And then, you know, the more you share of yourself and the more people share, like to share your stuff, it's all like goes back to that snowball effect. And yeah, I think that was really my biggest hardship, is thinking that I knew what I didn't. You never know if anything's a hit, and like you kind of set yourself up for disappointment. And I think that I got in my own way because I was setting myself up for disappointment when really everything's great. Everything's been, you know, really going great. Nothing was ever bad, but I imagined in my head that things would be amazing and I was going to be a millionaire and I was going to do all this shit. But really, if I was just happy with things as they were coming, I'd be in a way better place.
Last question, what do you want to be remembered for?
What do I want to be remembered for? I want to be remembered as a good dude that made good music that people, you know, can like sing along to and like sit down and play on a piano for their kids in 50 years.
Oh yeah.
You know, like I want like songs that just don't go away, like whether the production changes and like whether it's not played on the guitar or whether it's somebody sits down and plays on a piano. I just want to make songs. Like that's really what's been the most important to me, is just writing a really good song that just stands up however you produce it, however you play it, people want to sing along. Or like, and that's kind of been like the crux of everything.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much.
Of course, yeah.